Welcome to the opening rounds of the 2024 Motoring Club of Barbados Championship. Being the first closed road event for the season, it was indeed a surprise to see a 40-plus car entry, which showed that most were eager to get back to the action of what was a hotly competitive 2023 season. Speaking of hotly competitive, rounds 1 and 2 of this season's championship would be initiated through a double-header event aptly named Spring Blaze, which would see drivers tackling the high-speed Kendall Woods stage in both directions. Braving the heat, spectators would be entertained with 4 runs in each direction of the 7-kilometer stage, without the need to run to another venue to capture the day's action. Not that entertaining themselves between runs would be a challenge. This event would also kick off the Barbados Rally 2 Championship, which has evolved over the years with a consistent growing list of local, regional, and international drivers. New to the roster is Logan Watson, who is better known behind two-wheel drive machinery, but this year has opted to campaign in a Skoda Fabia Evo. We caught up with Logan to discuss this change.
Yeah, so far so good. Obviously testing here at Bushy Park and testing at Buckles is very different from the actual road. So today we'll just start slow, feel the car out slowly day, see what it feels like on the road. Yeah, there's obviously some differences. This car feels a lot more stable, very well balanced. Obviously it's left-hand drive, so that's a little bit different. Four-wheel drive, different. Everything is different. It's like if I'm starting all over again.
Another driver we just had to catch up with as well was the young and talented 2023 champion driver Tremaine Ford Catwell. Out for a full season to defend his crown in his Daihatsu Charmant, we did indeed get the chance to sit down with Tremaine to discuss his approach for the 2024 season.
The goal this year is actually to try to reclaim the championship title. Just get a little more seat time with the car, familiar with the car, familiar with the roads. Not really doing any upgrades to the car. May just tweak the suspension, but engine wise, no. Today's goal, definitely be the fastest in my class, but I would love to at least beat one of the R5s. That is my overall goal.
With that said, it was time to make our way over to stage start to capture the first direction of the event, which would represent round 1 of the championship. A recap of the first in each group and top 10 overall. First up with the fastest time would be Dane Skeet, competing in his Subaru Impreza S12 WRC for another season. Skeet would separate himself from the closest driver by more than 3 seconds, but would not return for the rest of the day thereafter, leaving the top spot quite open in the reverse direction. Fresh off from a top 10 finish at the 2024 East Riding Stages Rally, and seemingly geared to redeem himself from a host of bad luck in 2023, would be Rob Swan with some mighty fast times throughout the morning, putting him second overall but fastest in the Rally 2 Championship. By literally less than a blink of an eye, closely behind would be Jamaican Kyle Gregg by just 0.3 of a second. Fourth overall, and certainly putting down some consistent times, was Josh Reed in his Ford Fiesta R5. Reed would be just a mere second off of Swan and Gregg. With a time a near 10 seconds faster than his initial run, Roger Hill would settle for 5th overall and 4th in the Rally 2 Championship. With brother Stewart not competing, Mark Maloney would be the sole Maloney out for the season opener. His fastest run in this direction would see him 6th overall and 5th in group. On his first closed road event in his recently acquired Skoda Fabia Evo, Logan Watson would secure 7th overall and 6th in group, but would admit there was still a lot more time to find in himself and the car. By just 0.01 of a second, Paul Horton would settle for 8th overall behind Watson, with the continued consistent top 10 performances as done for the most part of the 2023 season. Beating brother Logan on 3 of the 4 runs, Rhett Watson sure did put some doubt into the mind of his brother, who would only secure a faster time on the very last run. Rhett would settle for fastest 2-wheel drive and 9th overall. With a new look and determination for the 2024 season, Barry Mayers would capture the final spot for top 10, but fall short of fastest 2-wheel drive to Rhett Watson. Back with his recently acquired Audi TT in Group Modified 4, Kyle Catwell would put on an impressive performance to secure 13th overall and 1st in Group. First in Modified 2 would be Neil Corbin, who would put down a fastest time that would also see him 14th overall, despite some flamboyant driving. Comfortably 2 seconds ahead of closest rival, Tremaine Ford Catwell would finish the first direction first in Super Modified 1, and living up to his target, he would put down a faster time than some Rally 2 competitors in Run 2, to the pleasure of spectators. Focused and poised to take on the hotly competitive Clubman 2 group, Chris Hode would secure his fastest time on the last run of the morning. Maintaining the competitive performance from 2023, Stuart Garcia in his BMW E46 would end the morning as fastest in Modified 3 with a respectable 24th overall. Not often we see a Group B Toyota Starlet, but at the hands of Sean Merritt, he would secure first in the fully subscribed group. All fresh-faced with a new sponsor on board for 2024, Wayne Tasker would secure first in Clubman 1 to round up the first in group honors. And that's the recap for round 1, which had lots of spills and thrills. Spectators anxiously awaited round 2 of the reverse direction of the 7-kilometer stage. Without Dane Skeet in the running for round 2, the top spot was left wide open, and Kyle Gregg seized the opportunity with a commanding fastest run in nearly each run, only coming second to Josh Reed in run 1. With a time less than a full second off of Gregg, Rob Swan would settle for second on round 2, but would indeed feel satisfied with the day's result, knowing that with some consistency this season, he could take the top step. Josh Reed again showed that he will be the man to watch in 2024, with a run 1 time faster than Gregg and a fastest time separating him and Rob Swan by 0.36 of a second. In a close battle for fourth that would see Maloney, Watson, and Hill battling by less than a second separating the three, Roger Hill would come out on top. Second to Hill, but still fifth overall with good points for the Rally 2 championship would be Mark Maloney, who after this fierce battle would indeed head into the next round a bit more confident to push to improve. First closed road event in this car, a three-way battled with experienced drivers for fourth. We think Logan Watson did mighty fine and looks to certainly be a contender within the Rally 2 championship for 2024. Maybe attempting to beat his brother was the catalyst this round with the absence of Barry Mayers, but Rhett Watson certainly kept a stage alight with a 7th overall and fastest two-wheel drive finish. Despite only putting in one fast run, Paul Horton would still secure a top 10 finish with so much more potential on the table for the next round. Kurt Thompson, that's correct. Kurt, not Mark, swapping his Honda Civic for a recently acquired Mitsubishi Evo 9, would round off the top 10 with a much improved performance from the morning stint. Taking a commanding win in Group Modified 2 would be Neil Corbin in his Toyota GT86, which though not as flamboyant as his Toyota Starlet, it surely has set similar if not faster times in recent outings. First in Super Modified 1 would be Edward Corbin in this direction. Edward would outpace group rival Tremaine Ford, Catwell, and certainly set the tone for the 2024 battle that would ensue between the two. Continuing on from the first direction, Stuart Garcia would finish fastest in Group Modified 3. Round 2 would also be another group win for Sean Merritt in his Group B Toyota Starlet. Illustrating the competitiveness of the Clubman 2 group, Ryan Wood would secure the group win in the opposite direction with a time near 2 seconds faster than Chris Hode. Looking a lot more confident in 2024, Wayne Tasker in his Opel Corsa would finish the day fastest in Clubman 1. Unfortunately, due to limited road closure time, Run 4 would be abandoned with drivers relying on only their first 3 runs. Notwithstanding this, the 2024 running of Spring Blaze is another memorable one for the books and sets the tone for 2024. Thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.